All right. So the State of Play recently came out. Now, you said you weren't even interested in watching it, right?
I was not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just didn't think that they would like after the disappointment that was E3. I just didn't think that they would really show anything that I was truly interested in
Okay.
because they weren't going to really unveil anything. I thought they were going to primarily focus on Deathloop, which, granted, I am already interested in, and
Yeah.
I've already pre-ordered it.
Okay.
So I'm already sold on Deathloop. I don't need to see so much more of a game that I'm already sold on. It's the games that I don't know enough about that I'm like I want more from.
Yes. No, I agree. I think they're kind of saturating things with Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little they're rehashing the same details over and over again with Deathloop, and it's like, okay, bro, we get it. The game looks cool. Just leave some suspense, like From Software does. You know.
Another YouTuber I enjoy, I think it was RGT85. He was like, I've seen enough video of this that I feel like I've already played the game.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to like exhaust people like that. Yeah. So all right. So the first one is Moss Book 2. Now,
wasn't this originally a VR game?
Yes. Yeah, this is a VR game. Did you play the original?
I did not.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of go over the details here real quick. It's a VR game. It's an action adventure game. You're this little mouse, and you're kind of like a hero, and you're going and doing all these like epic
definitely
things.
has like that red wall kind of feeling.
Yeah. The original game was rated very high, like 80% from critics and players. So it's a good game. So this is going to release on PlayStation VR, but here's the thing. I don't know the details of like, is this going to release on the current VR platform? Like, are they going to allow you to just play it now with the current VR platform? Or are they going to wait till they release the new VR platform? So that's what I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's...
they didn't specify?
I don't think so, because I watched the whole trailer, and at the end I didn't see...
And there wasn't even a release date?
No, I didn't see a release. At least I didn't. If I'm wrong, someone can let us know. But so that's my question. Is this going to be backwards compatible with the old VR, or is this going to be like, no, this is only exclusive to the new VR set? So,
well, that's a good question. Actually, I'm wondering,
because I don't know what new functionality they're going to add.
Well, that's the thing. I'm wondering if it's going to be like so robust that you're not capable of cross compatibility.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 4 VR is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, granted, the headset itself, I have the 2.0 version that came with Skyrim. And yeah, it doesn't look as clear and crisp.
Yeah.
Especially considering, all the other VR alternatives out there, but the price point is legit, at least for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of hope that they do bring it out. Funny enough, I kind of hope that they do bring out a version that is powerful and that is very next generation. But at the same time, there's a piece of me that's like, do I really want to buy another VR headset?
Yeah, because you're not big into the
no
VR games.
The last VR game I bought was Ace Combat 7, and even then that was like Ace Combat. Like it has a few specific missions that are in VR. The entire game isn't in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see if it's backwards compatible with the original VR. But who knows? Maybe they would decide like, yeah, this game's done. We don't want to wait, so we're just going to make a version that runs on both. So we'll see.
True, but maybe the reality of the situation is that there is no PS5 VR yet, and the install base isn't even close to what we have on PS4. So I think leaning into cross-gen is probably a good bet.
Yeah,
a safe bet.
Yeah. And most of the titles in this State of Play are backwards compatible because I feel like the developers, they just don't want to wait. You know what I mean?
There's just not enough PS5s.
Yeah, there's not enough PS5s. It's a bad business decision for Sony has to push the next gen.
Yeah.
And that's why people criticize Sony. It's not the developers are going to do what's best for them business-wise.
But I mean, even then, it's not even Sony's complete fault.
Yeah.
There's the
there's
chip
a supply
shortage
issue
that is taking its toll on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go back here. Let me close this. This is annoying me. Okay. So the next one is Arcadegeddon. This is a third-person team-based shooter inspired by Fortnite. I mean, you can clearly see that when you look at the gameplay.
Word.
It releases. Well, it's already out on early access, and it's on Epic Game Store and PS5.
Have you tried it out?
No, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's selling for $19.99 right now,
Okay.
and so here's my take on this game. I think that the genre that it's trying to enter is too saturated, and there's free versions of games. So this game, while it takes a spin on like bringing in classic arcade style mechanics into a game like Fortnite, it's just not enough for me to be interested in it.
Fair.
So that's why I'm not interested. That's why I'm not going to get it. Now, if it's like becomes this huge phenomenon where people are like, this game's awesome, blah, 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 and, you know, I just misread it, yeah, I would be open to try it, but I need to see more, and I need to see people playing it.
Fair. Okay.
So, yeah, at this point, I'm not interested in it. So, next up, Tribes of Midgard. So this is billed as a top-down, third-person survival action RPG with team play. It releases July 27th, so very soon, and the base game sells for $19.99. So, what's my opinion on this? Well, I didn't see any crafting or any mechanics that are popular in survival games. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was like a more like kind of like third person dungeon crawler type game. Yeah, Diablo-esque gameplay. And I don't like the fact that it's gonna have season passes. That turned me off immediately. Because I was just like, I don't have the bandwidth or the money to play a game that focuses on another game that focuses on season passes.
Like games as a service.
Yeah, and if I want a game that's a Norse mythology survival game, I already have one. It's called Valheim, and I've put over 100 hours into that.
You have your own server.
Yeah, so why would I play this game, which doesn't even look like a survival game to me?
Well, I mean, did they? From what you stated, there was nothing about survival in it.
No, it said that at the beginning.
Oh, I thought it was
It said in the beginning when they introduced the game, the lady goes, "This is a survival action RPG" or something like that.
Okay.
So she used the word survival, and I just didn't
you're
see
taking her to task.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So I think, yeah, I'm not sold by what I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hesitant. I'm much more hesitant to buy games now with season passes than I was before, because the way that they set up unlocking content in those games is very tedious in many aspects. You know what I mean?
Can be.
Yeah.
It definitely does depend on the publisher, because I'd say something like Neo, which I don't think they even had an extra season pass. I could be wrong, but I know the collector's edition of Neo 2, I got the season pass included with the game. And not that it was a deciding factor in my purchasing it. I was going to get the collector's edition regardless. But the season pass it's not about gate locking any kind of new content in terms of like, hey, you can't progress a certain part. It's more about DLC and like having extra story content and doing other things.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's a different type of season pass, right?
Yeah,
Is
I
that what
don't
you're
even
talking about?
think those should be called season passes.
Okay.
I think the definition of a season pass
Has
is
changed
yeah. Well, I think people are just using it, but I think
because they use like a Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
Yeah.
They called it a season pass.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the season pass for DLC that's rolling out,
Yeah,
and they have like a kind of uh, amorphous
yeah,
a dateline in
Yeah.
terms of when they're going to go ahead and release them.
yeah.
So you're saying the season pass of DLC versus a season pass of like
Yeah, like
of like rolling out extra content.
constantly. You know what I mean? Trying like if you look at a game like Call of Duty,
Mm.
those they call those battle passes.
Yes.
Um, but that's more of a season pass. Like it's it's geared up for like quarters, right?
Mm.
So this quarter season pass, we're gonna give you this, this, and this. You have to buy it. You get some free. You get the rest after you buy.
Mm.
But it's perpetual, like a season. Whereas if you have a game and it only has one season pass, well, is that really a season pass or is that just a DLC? Because it's not seasonal, it's not perpetual, it's a one-time thing, right? So yeah, it's confusing.
Yes.
But I don't think of those as season passes as you would like.
That's fair.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the terminology that
Yeah.
they're using. I
Yeah.
hear you.
But yeah, this game, the way they're saying it is like, no, we're gonna keep putting out these passes. They're making it like it is a season pass. So, all right, let's go back. Next up is Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch. So this game looks to be an action platformer.
In 2D. Well,
It's
3D, but in 2D plane.
yes, yeah. So this releases September 7th, cross-gen PS4 and PS5.
This is actually looks cool.
It does, but there's a few things. I think it looks interesting.
Mm.
I like the animal designs
Yes.
of the characters. But
Definitely has a lot of attitude.
yeah, the gameplay looked stiff, and I feel it's because they use Unreal Engine.
Mm.
And Unreal Engine,
It's unreal.
yeah, it's hard to make things not stiff in that engine,
Gotcha.
especially when you look at like Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. They always have this jankiness, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of games that are made in Unreal Engine, it's just hard to make it fluid, right? Like you would in a 2D engine.
Gotcha.
Also, I thought the environments looked a little stale.
Mm.
I didn't see much like going on in the backgrounds as opposed to other platformers that you see where there's like a whole world back there.
Mm.
But you know, the game isn't that could have been a super early build. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I think it wasn't unveiled in this thing. There was a trailer before this.
Yeah.
I forget the first time that we saw anything about this.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, when's the release date though? Because it said release date trailer.
September 7th.
So why do you think it's another build? Why do you think it's another
Because
build?
I never know
this
when
thing
they
is about to come out.
I know, but you never know when they make these
Trailers.
trailers. Yeah, you never know what build they're using. But to be honest, like those are my observations. So I'm like,
I highly doubt that it's an early build if the trailer just came out
Yeah.
and the thing is about to release in less than 2 months.
yeah. So maybe their environments aren't going to be
Yeah.
as dynamic as other.
It's more of an indie game too, so
Yeah.
you really can't expect it to be, all that jaw dropping.
Yeah, it's not
all
going
the
to be
time.
like Metroid or anything like that. Yeah. But it, like I said, it does look interesting.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think it looks
Yeah.
pretty darn cool.
Yeah. So next up, Hunters Arena Legends. So this is a 30-player battle royale game focused on martial arts inspired combat. It's almost like they took Soul Calibur and turned it into like a 30-player battle royale. So this releases August 3rd for PS4 and PS5. So I hate to be harsh again. I
There's a consistency with you.
yeah. I think it looks boring and uninspired. I think it
looks shallow and pedantic.
yeah. No, I don't like to use those pretentious words. I like to use very simple descriptive words, hence boring and uninspired. Like I just don't think it looks interesting. It almost looks like an MMO, the combat system.
It definitely looks like it, and it probably will lean hard into it because
Yeah.
if it's online only, and it just looks like a PvE MMO.
Yeah. So
Well,
or
actually,
a
I'm sorry.
PvP MMO.
Yeah, sorry, PvP MMO, but also like, isn't it just like a fantasy version of what we've got going on with like something like Fortnite and stuff?
Kind of, except it's very
Minus the building.
yeah, it's very melee oriented.
Yes, exactly.
So here's the thing: I don't know if that type of MMO like third-person style melee combat will transition to a battle royale game. Like, if you look at WoW, they have battlegrounds, which they did a long time ago, where there's these team-based like capture the flag games.
Yes,
So
you have stuff like that in Final Fantasy as well.
yeah, so that was done by
Final Fantasy
MMOs
14. Yeah.
for a long time, right? They've been doing that a long time. But battle royale, the whole, it's a very particular type where the map shrinks and it's last team or last man standing.
Yes.
So that type of combat, which usually is very technical and time consuming. Like it's not easy in those games to just kill someone. Like you have to like strategically use your cooldowns and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be one of those things where you can kill people quickly. But battle royale games, you got to be able to kill people quickly because the map is shrinking, and I don't know if the type of combat system is going to lend itself to that type of game. That's just that's just off the top of my head. Maybe it will play well, but I'm just skeptical of what I saw. So that's my analysis.
Fair.
Yeah. So next up we have SIFU. Now this was one of the games that looked very promising to me. So this is a third-person 3D action beat 'em up.
Yep.
And like, if you look at it, it kind of, you know what it made me think of? Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this releases early next year.
Minus the whole open world thing.
Yeah. For PS4 and PS5. So, and it also made me kind of think of like John Wick.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, sorry. So here's my opinion. I think that this game looks like you're playing John Wick or like a cinematic kung fu movie.
Yeah.
It's the combat system looks very dynamic. Everything's cinematic. I love the camera angles. I like the moves that he's doing. I'm very curious to find out what the aging system is, because in the trailer he got older as the fighting continued.
Yes.
But I'm also very curious to see how are they going to do this super cinematic dynamic combat system. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
how, because that seems like it's going to be very technical. So how are they going to accomplish that? That's what I'm curious
You
about.
want to know the moveset.
Yeah. I want to know the combat system. How's
Yeah.
the combat system going to play?
As do I.
Yeah.
No, but it looks pretty cool. I'm intrigued, definitely.
Yeah. So this is one of the titles I'm definitely interested in. All right. Jet the Far Shore. So this is an adventure game focused around exploring planets. So this releases this year. They don't give a date for PS4 and PS5. It looks, man. So I'm even more interested in this than Sifu.
Okay.
Yeah. So this game looks to me to be a very carefully crafted sci-fi game that has a very specific narrative about exploring unknown worlds,
Mm.
but in a way that's not aggressive.
What do you mean?
Like in the trailer, there's this guy talking, and he's like,
He's not aggressive.
he's like, we wanted to find a way to explore these worlds where we're not just invading and taking over. They're trying to find their place in the ecosystem. So it's very like non-domineering, you know what I mean, in your way of exploring space. I saw no combat. So it made me think of, okay, this is a game where you have to interact because you're limited on resources. So it doesn't make sense to go to a new world and fight everything if you don't have any resources. You're going to get destroyed. So you have to find a way to integrate into these planets. You know what I'm saying? That's sustainable.
Funny thing is, it sounds a little bit, aside from like maybe the implementation, but the idea is Metroid, where you're constantly like trying to understand the planet that you're currently in, and there's a lot of engaging yourself with the environment and understanding what happened and what's going on with the environment.
Yeah.
You can definitely avoid all of that, but that's part of like its charm is like, ooh, look at all this world building that they've included. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so
It sounds neat.
it does sound neat, and it makes sense. Like if you're part of a civilization that's literally on its last legs, it just doesn't make sense to fight anything. Like your best bet is the path of least resistance, right? You just need to find a planet that is peaceful that you can colonize, pretty much, right? And work with the local life forms. So, yeah, I like that they're so careful in their narrative that it makes me think that it's going to be a very unique gaming experience.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right. And funny enough, it had one of the higher dislike ratios of all the game videos.
Do you know why?
No idea. Because a lot of people in the comments were positive. So
that seems like something worth looking into.
Yeah. So Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles. So this is a JRPG based on the hit anime Demon Slayer, which we're both a fan of.
Yes.
It was my favorite anime of all last year.
Yes.
And just recently, it's one of my favorite animes.
Did you watch the Mugen Train movie?
No, not yet. I need to watch it.
It's already on Funimation.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's awesome.
So this releases October 15th for PS4 and PS5. Now, I already knew about this game because it was announced on Play Asia a while back.
Yes.
But so here's my take on it. First of all, I was originally concerned because I was worried that it was going to be one of those games that was Japan only. And
Demon Slayer is too popular.
I know. But I was worried because I had seen it announced only in Japan months before it was announced for the US market.
Okay.
So I was waiting. I was like, where's the US release? Where's the US release? I kept checking it, and then I saw it open for pre-orders on PlayAsia. And I was like, where's the US release? Where's the US release? And so I was like, holy shit, is this only going to be Japan only?
Yes.
So this is good news. This is a day one for me because I like the anime so much that I just want to, I'm gambling that this is going to be a good game.
Okay. Well, maybe I can help you.
Yeah.
Because this is developed by CyberConnect 2. the same team behind the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Oh, which those
And
are
they're
actually
pretty
good
fun.
games, right?
They're pretty fun. So it's not like I feel like this trailer wasn't that great, unfortunately.
No, it was not. It was not.
But the previous trailers were actually pretty cool,
Yeah.
and they've got definitely the look and feel down of the show.
Yeah.
And they were successful in doing the same thing with the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series.
Mhm.
And granted, they had like some misstep. I think Strikers was a misstep, but this looks akin to the Ultimate Ninja Storm series.
You mean
and-
Shinobi Strikers?
Yes. This looks akin to the Naruto series because it's not. I don't think it's an arena fighter.
No, this
It's
looks
not-
like an RPG.
Yeah, this looks like it's story based. It's definitely focused on telling the story of Demon Slayer. There's gonna be some PvP in there,
Yeah.
but it's not the focus,
Yeah.
and that I'm happy about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like My Hero One's Justice
Mhm.
or no, sorry, that was One Punch Man, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Because the My Hero Academia is an arena fighter, and then there's the One Punch Man fighter, which isn't that great either.
Yeah. So
Both of which are Bandai Namco, but
that was actually
but it is hit or miss when
Yeah.
it comes to anime or licensed games like this.
Yeah.
But this one, I think, from the pedigree, it stands to be better than not.
Yeah.
So I hope it is.
Yeah.
And I've also pre-ordered it as well.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is a day one for both of us. I do want to say that the reason why I was hopeful is because, like you said, it's not a Bandai Namco game. They have
It is a Bandai Namco game.
no, it's Sega.
Oh, pardon.
Yeah, yeah. So Bandai Namco has really dropped the ball lately on a lot of these Shonen Jump games that they've been coming out with.
Yeah, like Jump Stars.
Yeah. So I'm more hopeful that this is going to be a good one. And also the fact that you said that the studio CyberConnect
CyberConnect 2.
has a good track record with these anime
It's funny because I'm currently playing Ultimate Ninja Storm, the first one, so that I can go ahead.
Isn't
'cause
that the best one?
Or not that I know of. I don't
Okay,
think
okay.
so. But the thing is, the con that I will say is that these fighting games are relatively simple.
Yes.
They're very simple, and it's to make them as accessible as possible because the anime community is varied, and that makes sense.
And a true anime fighter is very hard.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
BlazBlue
Oh.
Chronicles.
Well, Dragon Ball Fighter Z it's the same company, ArcSys Works.
Yeah, they're very technical games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that regard, that could be like a con, but hopefully your love of the license is what kind of like takes it over the top, though, because as long as it's competent and fun, that's really what we want.
Yeah.
It's rare that it'll be like amazing and it takes it over the
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely want it to just be a solid game.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that.
Mhm.
All right, next up, Lost Judgment. So this is very So this is a beat 'em up spin-off of the Yakuza series, right?
Yes.
And it's a sequel to Judgment, which just got a PS5 version.
Yes.
And it releases September 24th for the PS4 and the PS5. So here's the thing. I haven't played the first Judgment.
Neither have I.
Okay. But it has...
But it is part of the Yakuza series.
Yeah.
Or it's from the Yakuza team, and
Yeah.
they make amazing games.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Yakuza series.
Yeah. So this one looks very fun. It has a lot of those quirky mini games in it.
Yes.
And it looks legit. So, but here's my take on it. I want to play the first one first, and then I will consider buying it. But I would say if you're a fan of the,
It's an easy get.
it's an easy get.
Yeah, because honestly, that team in general has been nothing but consistent,
Yes.
and they've only improved, especially in terms of their storytelling. Like Judgment was a lot of fun. I hear Like a Dragon is fantastic, but I haven't played it yet.
I haven't played
but
it yet.
it's also a departure from the norm in terms of it being like more of an RPG.
It's more of an RPG. Yeah.
But Lost Judgment looks really cool, and you're right. I'm on the same boat in terms of needing to beat Judgment. But the thing
Yes.
is that like I only played for a little bit, and then
Oh, so you have it.
yeah, I own it.
Okay.
I own it on the PlayStation 4. But the thing is that I never beat it. So shouldn't I just get on PlayStation 5? Like, what are what are the
Yeah.
what are the differences?
I would probably just trade it in and get the PS5 version.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So next up, we have your favorite announcement.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. So this is an adventure, RPG game, survival. Right?
Unlike any other.
Yeah, it fits a lot of genres. Actually,
It
it's kind of hard
overlaps
to
in
pin
a lot
down.
of genres, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's very much its own thing.
Yeah. So this is the director's cut. This is going to release September 24th for the PS5. I already know you're a day one person.
Yep.
So let's talk about it. I'll give my opinions, and then you can tell me what you think about it. So we both played the game. We both beat the game. I actually did a review on this channel. You can find it. I think so. First of all, I like the fact that they're adding a bunch of new content for fans of the first one, and also for people who never got around to playing the original one.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say here are my concerns. I like that they're improving the overall graphical quality of the game.
Yes.
But I saw no mention of performance increases. I saw no mention of 60 frames per second. I saw no mention of 4K. What can this thing do if it's going to be in 4K? What can it do in 4K? Because as you know, this game released on the previous generation,
Yes.
and there was a lot of performance issues.
So
The game did not run that smooth, and it's widely known that the PC version is the best technical version of the game.
So I can go ahead and answer those questions
Okay.
because Kojima Productions, the head of publishing, Jay Bohr,
Mhm.
came out with a small video a day or so,
Okay.
maybe, after this reveal.
Yeah.
And he actually answered a lot of those questions.
Okay.
And one of those questions, there's two modes. There's a performance mode and a picture mode, I guess.
Okay.
And so they do have 60 frames per second as well as 4K.
30 frames per second.
Yeah, the 4K one is definitely going to not be at 60 frames per second.
Okay.
So that's why there's two different modes. I apologize, I'm forgetting the name of the other mode. But yeah,
Cinematic mode?
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and a lot of the PC improvements are actually being
Ported to the
being
PS5?
included into the PS5
Okay.
version.
That's
Correct.
smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, and some of the DLC stuff that they had specific to the PC, like the Cyberpunk
Okay.
stuff, as well as like I think some of the Valve stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe I could be wrong in there.
Okay. So my next question was going to be, what about quality of life improvements? Because there was a lot of complaints, especially by me, in the original where I just didn't want to keep watching the same cutscenes.
They've already patched that out
Okay.
in the
okay.
PS4 version.
Okay.
They've already done that for the PS4 version.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's going to be included.
Okay. Awesome. So I think that covers my my concerns.
And the cool thing that's specific to the PlayStation 5, with the
Mhm.
haptic feedback on the controllers, there's going to be more resistance when
Okay.
you're walking, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Or doing anything. So like you're going to feel that even more so with the PlayStation 5
Okay.
and the technology that they have with the controller.
Okay.
So I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I feel that since you just answered my concerns, then I'm probably going to get it. So yeah.
And the upgrade isn't breaking the bank,
No.
thankfully.
It's a $10 upgrade if you want to just upgrade from the original.
Exactly.
But you're probably just going to get the full version, right?
To support Koji,
Yeah.
yeah. Kojima.
Are they coming out with the collector's edition?
I doubt it,
Okay.
actually. I doubt
Okay.
it. Because the thing is that the PlayStation 5 version, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's $49.99. The director's cut.
It's not a full
It's not full price. Yeah, it's not $70.
Okay.
which I think is a smart
Yes.
move.
It's a very smart move.
As much as I love that game, and as much as a lot of the recent remakes of games are going for $70, and I think that this game is worth it.
Mhm.
I think in order to get a larger audience,
Mhm.
having it aggressively priced like this is smart.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there you have it. Great job answering those questions.
You're welcome.
I'm sure a lot of people had concerns. So yeah, I think I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to add the something that Jay Boer did talk about, because a lot of people were confused. They're like, "Why is this called the director's cut? Didn't Kojima make
Yeah.
the game that he wanted to make
Yeah, yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Like, why is this?" And it's like, no. He said that when it came out on the PS4, that was it, and PC, it saw, whatever improvements, technically speaking. But when the PlayStation 5 came out, they're like, we have some ideas. We have some things that we can add to it.
Because we had to take it out because the PS4's limitations?
No. That's not even it.
Okay.
They just thought, hey, look, we can do this and add to it. Rather than be like, this is stuff that didn't make it because of the cutting room floor. They did what they wanted to do with Death Stranding.
Yeah.
But they're like, we do have more stories we can tell in this world without making a Death Stranding Part 2.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So in regard to that, I think that's awesome, because unlike maybe you purchasing a game that already has DLC in the pipeline, it's like, okay, well, shoot, like you're already not giving me a complete game, kind of.
Yeah.
In this regard, you've always had the complete game. It's just that, it's a director coming back and being like, I want to add these things. I want to do this thing that is complementary, that is additive to the game.
Yeah.
Like the thing that I didn't like about what they showed was the fragile circuit. I was like, that kind of doesn't make much sense.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
game.
yeah, like a racing circuit?
Yeah, like a racing circuit.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but driving in that game is so much fun. Like I love traversing in the game.
Well, that's what most of the game's about, traversing.
It is. Like, it is true.
How you're gonna traverse. Yeah.
So in that regard, I'm just like, okay, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But aside from that, there's new story-based content. There's there's more locations, and there's the graphical upgrade as well as the technical upgrades with the controller. I'm sold.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool.
Okay. I think a more apt title might have been Definitive Edition.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, because Director's Cut does make it sound like we couldn't do this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they could have.
Yeah, I think Definitive Edition would have been better.
Biggest issue that I feel, because this is akin to what happened with Final Fantasy VII, is that all the extra content isn't available on PlayStation 4.
Yes.
Which is, I feel, is unfortunate, because that's where most of the games sold. That's where most of the people have that game. So
now, here's a question.
I find that kind of sucks.
Are they going to release this on PC also?
They haven't stated, but I can only assume yes.
Yeah, because they have a huge fan base on PC now.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, some of the more hardcore players of this game are on PC, so it wouldn't make sense to not give them this too.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So next up, actually, you know what? There was one more thing. Deathloop. So
the primary thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my okay. So
your impression?
This is a first-person shooter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It releases September 14th this year. So here's my thing. I think it looks like a very interesting game, right? I like the fact that they're going in a unique direction as far as the core gameplay loop is. It's a very different core gameplay loop than a lot of other first-person shooters.
Yes.
In the fact that you're literally stuck in a loop and you're trying to break it.
Yeah. It's very roguelike.
Yeah. And so that's going to be, how do they incorporate the roguelike elements to not make it too repetitive. So that's my main thing about the game is I'm not completely sold yet. I want to see first how they were making it replayable. Because essentially you're just playing the same loop over and over again. That's the game.
Well,
So how are they going to make it so that you don't get bored if you're having a hard time and you're getting stuck? You know what I mean?
well, here's an example. What is the difference between that premise
Yeah.
and Returnal?
So the difference between Returnal is a third person shmup.
Well, no,
Pretty
no,
much.
that's a different. I mean,
They're different genres.
they're both different genres
Yeah.
per se. But I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time,
Which a shmup, it just is that's what a shmup is. You just replay the same levels over and over again. So for me, it makes sense that that's what Returnal is. Whereas a first person shooter like that, I've never seen that. So that's why I'm like, how are they going to make it
compelling?
Yeah, compelling so that you want to keep hitting your head against the wall and get through it. You know what I mean? So
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know. I see it like a brand new way of, like a genre mashup, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, I just like Arcane Studios' work. I really enjoyed Dishonored. Beat it twice. I still need to play Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
But this feels very much like the Dishonored type of gameplay. And I love the art direction of this game. That 1960s, like 70s kind of look and feel.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen that really done that often here
No.
in video games.
No.
I think the last one was We Happy Few, and that was a completely different genre of game.
Yeah.
But
even the color palette
yeah,
that they
very
use
cool.
is very unique. Yeah.
So in that regard, I like the studio. I like the gameplay already because it's very much akin to the previous gameplay, and the loop premise seems. I don't want to say original, but definitely more unique than what we've seen recently.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like pretty darn excited for it.
Yeah.
But I can see why you'd be turned off by it. But I mean, it looks like they've got 8 different, if I recall correctly, 8 different bosses.
Yes. Yeah.
Then that's like 8 different
And
like,
one
locations.
that hunts you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and one that hunts you.
So that in and of itself, like, I can see how it could be totally maddening if you get to like the 6th or 7th boss and you're like, oh snap, you die. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are they the balancing on that is gonna be important.
So
because
they do have
oh wait, the bosses die as soon as the bosses die, it's over. I recall now.
And they do have 2 lives.
What?
You can go back in time twice in one loop. So one loop has 2 lives.
Cool.
So it's not like you're dead and that's it. You get 2 chances per loop. And I think you have to unlock those. So at first you're going to be dying a lot, then you unlock those 2.
That makes sense.
So yeah, they did add in some balance mechanics.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what's going to go on with that game.
Yeah. So. All right. Oh yeah, but just stop throwing it in people's face over and over again. The same, like let people salivate a little bit. You know what I mean? It's gonna help you in the long run.
Well, I mean, it's just that people might not. Maybe it's they're looking at their numbers. They're looking at pre-order numbers, and they're just not seeing a lot of people interested in it, and they just like are trying to really market the hell out of it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if they only have one chance to market it before it comes out.
True.
So they're trying their best. So I can't completely blame them, but yes, it's a little much.
Yeah.